fighting continues in the Kremen forests in the Red Liman direction. South of the mass grave Stella, a Ukrainian operator finishes off a tank and hits the attacker's trench. That is, the strengthening is behind the Russian side. This is the second visual information of the soldier's location behind the mass grave. This means that the detachments of the center group squeezed out the enemy by 2 kilometers. We have achieved serious tactical success. The fighters are gradually approaching the natural barrier of the Seversky Donets River. Intense fighting is taking place in the Konstantinovsky direction. The gunners of the 98th Division are actively processing enemy positions, both near the contact line and on the approach to the sentry yard. Near the sentry yard, fighters regularly disrupt the timely delivery of reserves along the Yarkramovo-Klok road. The whole route is under fire control. 3 pieces of equipment were eliminated near the cemetery. The Armed Forces of Ukraine, which holds positions on the western edge of the cemetery, is also under fire. At the same time, to the north of the cemetery, the paratroopers landed a detachment to seize the forest belt. The warriors improved their position slightly. They continue to squeeze out the enemy. The North V military brigades are working intensively in the Bogdanovka area. The gunners thoroughly took up the eastern part of Kalinovka, which is located on a hill relative to Bogdanovka. An anti-tank installation was eliminated 5 days ago. Yesterday, 350 meters to the west in the same forest area, artillery fire destroyed the temporary deployment point of the Armed Forces of Ukraine with manpower. The warriors intend to advance along the forest plantations with access to the hill. They are trying to go around Bogdanovka. A high rate of fighting remains in the Avdiivka direction. In the eastern part of Pervomaysky, detachments of the Vostok Group knocked out Ukrainian forces from the Izmailovsky Pond Dam. The enemy strikes the attackers with drone strikes. In addition to holding the dam, the soldiers seek to isolate the Afu garrison in the southern part of the village. So far, Ukrainian forces have managed to control the main supply route. A high rate of fighting remains in the Kurikovsky direction. The military is looking for ways to master the menagerie. This time, the role was carried out in the amount of 4 armored vehicles, with an attempt to consolidate in the forest plantation, which is located south of this item. In this area, the AFU still has enough means for fire resistance. All equipment was destroyed. Despite the suppression of the onslaught, the fighters continue to be active. In the Zaporozhye direction, fighting is going on non-stop in the areas of Rabosino, Novoprokopavka and Verbovoye. Northwest of Verbovoye, the paratroopers of the 108th Regiment on Bermudian $4 are trying to completely master a cross-cutting forest plantation. The crew of a 30mm cannon is firing at positions the enemy. At the same time, an assault landing is being carried out. The capture of an enemy stronghold has been announced. The site itself is dynamic. Both sides are carrying out attacks. A rare event has occurred in this sector, where a whole platoon of the enemy decided to surrender. There were ideological ones among the military of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and those who were civilians a week ago. As a result, the Ukrainian military retained my life. They will return home under the prisoner of war exchange program, which takes place once a month.